What is up, YouTube? It is I, Chaos, and we're back. Yeah, working is hard and doing YouTube videos together. What are we up to? Episode 28? Wow, nearly to 30. So, we got some cool shit to do today. I've ordered a whole bunch of parts because I'm going to be doing all the LEDs. All the LEDs in my room for all the things, and we need to make the power. We need the power for the stuff for the LEDs. So we're going to make a junction box. Yay! So let's get started on that. Engage the time lapse. Bam! Just like that, we got it done. So what this is just a little box that I've got these female DC plug connectors that the ones that you put in boxes. So we make a box to put them in. So we're gonna get this printed now, and then we're gonna jump to the camera and show it getting installed when it's printed. It shouldn't take too long. Let's find out how long it's gonna take. Let's save it. File, export CAD, STL, junction box 1, save, and then go to file, objects. Chaos Engineering, LED power distribution, junction box 1. Don't you just love loading screens? It's a good thing I do editing, isn't it? Otherwise you'd sit here and watch all this boring shit. Okay, and as always it comes in the wrong way. Select it, turn it the right way up. My settings should all be good because of the other things I was printing. Video of that here, and then we'll jump into layers. Let's turn show troubles off. That looks all good. Okay, all the settings look good, and it's gonna take 3 hours 42 minutes to print, so I will be doing some other stuff in the meantime while that's printing. So let's get that on the print. All right, so we've got the printer going. We're printing that other thing, which is this junction box for all the plugs and everything for the LEDs. So from the 12-volt supply, the wire will come in with a plug, go into a female connector in this junction box, and then we'll have a whole bunch of other female connectors in the junction box to go off to all my other LED setups in the room. I designed this one, and we're having some trouble getting this one to print, so I had to stop and build an enclosure for the printer so that the wind isn't screwing up. There's bird nesting in the middle here, so that circle that whole feature wasn't printing correctly, so we have to stop, change the way it was printing, as well as build the enclosure out of cardboard. Believe it or not, out of the box the printer came in, so that was cool. And while I was doing that, I got my lovely girlfriend who's over for the weekend, who is also amazing at stuff, to make something else. So I asked her to design up a housing for the toggle switch for one of the LED sets, and this will be a toggle switch that goes on my glass display cabinet for my models, and she's done an amazing job. And there's the one part and the other part, and I'm actually just sitting over her shoulder. She's in front of the computer right now with the mouse and everything, and she's doing amazing. You want to say hi?
Hi.
There you go. It's real. I'm not making this up. I have a girlfriend. It's a real thing. They do exist. Girls, they exist. Yeah, confirmed. So we're gonna get those printed next when the new junction box is finished printing. Okay, click on it. There you go. So we're just trying to print this again. Attempt what? Number 4? Yeah, attempt number 4. And then we're gonna try and print your 2 parts and see how well they work. And we're gonna wire them up today as well. We'll get the camera and we'll hook the camera up to your little laptop over to the other side of the room, and we'll do all the soldering and everything together on camera. But it'll be our hands, so don't worry. You don't have to get dressed. She has no pants on. Yay for girlfriends that don't wear pants. They're awesome. Okay, so see you in a bit.
This is awkward.
Is it?
Is it? Is it really? Right, so this is what you need, children. You need some wire. You need your box. And you need your doodads. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Windows. Yeah. Appreciated. Oh my god. it waits. I swear to God, it waits. They program it to wait until you're doing something, and then it goes, oh, by the way, I'm going to be annoying. We shall put out little plugs in here. Well, I designed this to be the most awkward thing to do ever. I was lazy, and I shall regret it later, or in a moment. We shall see. And then we got to put the nuts in. See, this is fun. Science. You got smaller fingers. You'd be able to do this better than me. Why am I doing this? Why aren't you doing this?
Good question.
Yeah, I thought this through.
I didn't. Not my project.
I thought this through and went, yeah, this is gonna be a pain in the butt, but I'll deal with it. But yeah, there we go. They're all on. See, it's not that hard. We can do this. Get on there, you second hand. I still haven't worked out how to do bleeping, foul language in post, so I still can't swear. And it sucks because I love swearing. Screw you, YouTube. Screw you and your silly demonetization, unsuitable for certain audiences bullshit. You can say shit, right? Surely. It is a thing. Shit is a thing. It's not a profanity. It's a descriptive thing of, you know, fecal matter. So, I suppose when you start saying things like you little, then it becomes a profanity, but I don't know. Profanities are awesome, you know, they're so versatile. It's a key part of human thing. Right, so there they are. Wow, that looks pro, yo. Right, let's get some wire in there. So they're all in parallel. So this should be walking the part, and not even the proverbial part, like the actual part. So we need to cut sections that are yay long, and then strip them. So if you want to do that, and I'll strip them, because you know I'm good at taking clothes off. Look at this teamwork. I have them. Can I just have a shout out for how awesome my girlfriend is? Most awesome girlfriend ever in the history of ever. And in the meantime, we have the soldering iron warming up, so it'll be ready for us. Lucky for you guys, I'm okay with editing, so this is all going to get like heavily time-lapsed and cut and stuff. You don't have to sit through all of this very riveting entertainment. Right, so these ones are going to go on the bottom rail. So what you want to do is you take your, you might as well prep for everything. So you get your flux, put a tiny little dab of flux on the tips, like so. This is out of camera, what am I doing? You guys can't see. Yeah, you just get your flux on there and you flux it up, you know, so it's got flux capacity. I'm funny, I swear. Okay, you do the rest. I need to strip these from the camera so that people can see you. Don't be shy, it's just a camera, it's not going to bite. And at the moment, any YouTube comments are good YouTube comments. Speaking of which, new people from TFI CAD Tips, welcome to the channel. Very appreciated. Like seriously, you guys are awesome. Yeah, I've known Neil on TFI for a long time. Like he mentioned in the Render Wars video, because we're like both inventor like maniacs. We love the program through and through. And so, he's the guy that taught me how to use Inventor. Indirect. And now he's going to be teaching you, right?
Kind of.
Yeah, I mean, you've already got a bit of experience.
What are bad habits to unlearn?
Yeah, but we'll get you there. It's just like practice. You just got to just do it. I mean, I've been doing it pretty much day in, day out for nearly 4 years now. And, you know, I had the luxury of sitting at home doing work for clients, freelance. So, you know, I got kind of paid to do it. But, you know, if you're not making it your day job, then it's kind of hard to justify the amount of time you spend in practicing it. Okay, so while I get these stripped, you can get this bottom rail on the go. I think the best way that we can do this is we can start by, you may want to use these. You grab this, because it's going to get hot. Right, you grab this, and that'll hold it for you. And you'll probably want to flux these as well. So we want to just
So much flux.
tin these. I've had this for years, and it's like not even close to being empty yet.
And I have never used flux before.
You've never used flux? Oh, flux makes life so easy. It's like lube. You just can't do it without it.
And yet I've never had an issue
Yeah.
with soldering.
Now. We just want to tin these tips, and then just going to soak up the solder because of the copper. Copper and solder are like best friends. They've been together since they were like, you know, toddlers. And then they went to university together, and they got into all sorts of frat party shenanigans together. Right, so you tin it, and then you come in. This is where it's going to get tricky. This is like that game, you know that game where you don't want to touch the sides? What's it called? Operation?
Yep, that's the one.
Alright. That's that one done. And you may need to come in and just sort of like bend them a little bit so that it works, because some of them, like, yeah, there's no way you could cut them accurately enough. But yeah, there we go, that one's done. Carry on. See how well you go, and I'll keep stripping wires.
Oh, this one is just perfect.
just perfect. Look at you. That's probably the one I cut, that extra long one. So I was just like, yeah. Oh, smell those beautiful solder fumes. Smells like cancer. Oh yeah. Don't you love the smell of flux and solder?
Just lovely.
Lead. Oh, so good. So good for you. You know, every morning I wake up and I think, I'm going to get myself a good, full, fresh breath of lead. Jokes aside, kids, you should really, make sure you're in a well-ventilated area and probably wearing some sort of mask. But we are in a well-ventilated area. We've got the window open. It's blowing some nice cool air in on this hot summer night, and we've got the fan going. Just think of Doug and his big steel junk and all the welding they have to do, and then grinding. Only this is going to get covered up, so we don't have to grind anything. For those of you that don't get the Doug reference, that's Doug at SV Seeker. He's building a Chinese steel junk in his yard. Okay, my turn. Tag up!
Now what you get done in a quarter of the time. Yeah, the main soldering I'm used to doing is for automotive. Big chunky wires out in the open, no tight spaces.
Well, it's the same thing really, it's just practice. Everything's practice really.
Well, that and with automotive it's usually wire to wire, not wire to a terminal.
Yeah.
Whenever you're wiring to a terminal in a car, you should use crimped connector so that the solder doesn't vibrate loose. At least that's what I was taught.
Flux me.
There it is.
Flux. There we go. Oh yeah, get that all on there. Yeah, that's the stuff. Now I didn't bother soldering the other end of the wire here because I was going to come back and do this one. I'm just, instead of double handling stuff. Shaky hands, not a problem. Good enough. Yeah, so solder iron in the left hand. It sounds counterintuitive because you'd think that's the thing that you need more control over. But yeah, I find it's easier to do soldering with the soldering iron in my left hand than it is in my right hand, because then I'm using my left hand to manipulate the really delicate tiny things that are really pain in the ass, and if you lose them you're buggered. Alright, next lot, flux. Look at this. I wish I actually had, an extra pair of hands. But, a girlfriend who's the most amazing girlfriend in the world is just as good, if not better.
I was also taught when I was a kid never to actually touch the solder with the iron. When my dad was teaching me, he said always heat up the wire and then use the wire to melt it. But I guess that's each to their own.
I'm not sure what to say to that, because
whenever I tried doing it with it on the iron, then the iron would be covered in solder and it would just stay there. It wouldn't go on to what I'm working with.
That's what those are for.
I never had one.
It's not on camera. Okay, so usually when you're soldering, you have one of these and you clean the tip. If you didn't have one of those, that would explain why your dad didn't want you putting solder on the tip of his iron, because men and their tools, I tell you.
He's got one of those fancy butane powered irons now.
Oh, yeah. Well, now, with those, you want to avoid putting the solder on as much as possible. Because my dad used to do a lot of soldering, because he's an electrical process engineer. Sometimes he'd be soldering in either hard to get places or in the field where there's no power. So they use gas iron, such as a butane lighter built into the tip of a soldering iron. Yeah, I won't put you through trying to solder. You can solder your one up when we print your parts, but I won't put you through this. I designed this to be difficult, and I was going to just live with it, because it was only going to happen once. I'm only making one of these junction boxes, I think. Maybe another one at a later date. what I'm doing is I'm putting the solder in the contact between what I'm trying to solder and the iron, and if you do it right and you've got your flux, then the solder is supposed to wick to what you're trying to solder and not to your iron. Flux, lube of the electronic world. And there we go. One nice little junction-y boxy thing. Oh shit. I don't know if it shows up too well on the camera. You see that little hole and that little hole? They're for screws. These screws that I just threw all over the place. They're supposed to go inside and then get screwed down to the desk, but I just welded the lid on. Are you laughing at me?
No, not at all.
Because you should be. You should be laughing your ass off. That is a monumental... Oh.
That's some nice bleeping you got there.
Yeah, you know how they do it in American TV? Where you hear the first part of the swear word and then it's just silence. Luckily, it was a superficial weld. There you go, boys and girls. Proof that I never make a mistake. Yep, everything went according to plan. We'll just edit that out, yeah?
Yep, definitely.
Just edit that out, yeah.
We're not editing it.
No, we're not.
Leaving it in.
Yeah.
Show off your...
Is there a screwdriver somewhere like this one here in front of me? Probably should have designed some holes in the top of the lid so I can screw it down and unscrew it with the lid on, but you know, these things, they're, you know, part of life. So we'll just put the lid with it until we screw it down on the desk. Well, the lid sits on it nicely now that I did. No, never mind. Never mind. Yeah, good enough. There we go. Okay, it's done. We completed a project. How awesome is that? That's the first project on my channel that I've completed. Wow. And it's this stupid little box.
It's a useful stupid little box.
Yeah, it's going to be very useful. It's going to make all the LEDs do LED, right? Power goes in, LEDs plug in, we get light. Shiny. Okay, that's enough of it today. As always, thank you for watching. I've been Chaos. Until next time, I shall see you guys later.